Namo Buddhaya. In our society, there are people with narcissistic ideas. The people with narcissistic ideas are a bit selfish, and also they need attention from the people around them, and they don't have that compassion and they don't care about other people's feelings. They can do anything to protect their personality being hurt, without being hurt. So they can do anything to protect that. So when we are living our life, we have to deal with such people, right? Sometimes we may find narcissistic people in our family, right? As our partners, life partners. So we have to deal with such people. So how to deal with this problem? First of all, we have to understand about the situation of that person, right? If a person is being narcissist, that means he needs the attention from others, okay? And also, they don't care about others' feelings. They can hurt you at any time, right? They don't care about your feelings. So when you're dealing with such people, the first thing that you have to do and to develop within yourself is the patience, right? When we talk about the patience, Supreme Buddha said you should not be patient out of fear, right? Lot of people talk about patience and they think that being patient is a weakness, right? If you are being patient out of fear, and that is a weakness. But if you can be patient with the wisdom by being positive, not being aggressive, not being negative, but if you can be assertive, right? The positive patience, the patience with wisdom, then you will have that ability to deal with people, right? When you are being patient, you will develop the ability of listening to them, right? As the narcissistic person needs the attention from others, if you are listening to their ideas, if you are listening to what they say, then they will start to give a consideration, or they will start to love you, or they will start to like you because you are listening to them. But still you are being patient, and you are not being patient out of fear, and still you are listening to that person, then that person will start to like you, start to be with you. Now, normally when we find narcissistic people, the people with selfishness and people with higher self-esteem, we always try to reject them. Remember, the more we reject such people, the more they will develop their narcissism. They will tighten up their narcissism because we feed their ego, right? No one likes to be rejected in their lives, especially the narcissistic people. They don't like to be rejected. So what you have to do, you need to be patient. You need to listen to them very carefully. Give a big attention. That is the first quality. Number 2, you need to have the kindness within yourself. You need to be kind to yourself as well as to the person who needs your attention, that person, right? If you can be kind to them, right, they will start to love you and they will start to listen to your ideas. Normally, narcissistic people, they don't listen to others' ideas. They think that I don't want any advice from anyone. I'm the superior person. But if you approach them with kindness, if you approach them with patience, if you are not rejecting them, they will start to soften their stubbornness. Normally, they are the people who are with hard hard and stubborn qualities, right? So if you are approaching them with kindness, compassion, listening, patience, then they will start to follow your advice, right? They will start to think twice about your advices, right? So what you have to do is, you have to approach them with kindness. Remember, kindness has the answers for these types of questions, problems, right? Normally we don't choose to be kind. We always try to reject those people. They are the people who needs our help. They are the people who needs our attention, right? If they need our attention, we have to give that. If you give that attention to themselves, then they will start to like you. Okay? And also, you need to take time, right? If you need to change that person, if you need to make them feel that this narcissism and the things that the problem that I am having is not a good thing, you need to take time to explain them, right? People doesn't change in one night, within one night, right? It takes time. And also you cannot convince a person through anger or rejection or blaming or scolding to make them change. You cannot do that. People change by themselves, by their own choices. If they made the choice to change themselves, then only they are changing, right? If we try to change themselves, if they are not listening to our ideas, then they will never change. So what you have to do, take time, little by little, one step by one step. You have to approach them with kindness, compassion, and patience. That is a soft approach, not a hard one. Okay? And the third quality that you must have within yourself is to admire their values, their good things, right? Normally we have the nature in ourselves to label the people, right? If someone has selfishness within himself, we label that person as a narcissist, right? But he's not a narcissist. He is a person, he is a human which has narcissistic ideas. He's not a narcissist. Now, same goes with other people. If we take a murderer, right, we label that person as a murderer. But he's not a murderer. He is a person who had killed a person, right? The more we label people like that, narcissists, murderers, selfish people, unkind people, like that, if we label the people, if we give the tags to them, right, they will never get out of their problems, their weaknesses. First of all, we need to see the human within that person. In every narcissistic person, there is a human which has good qualities. So you have to see those qualities and admire those qualities. Give a value to them, right? If you're giving value to them and if you are not caring and if you're not caring and if you are ignoring the negative side of that person, and they will always give a good admiration to you, right? So when you are living with a narcissistic person, what you have to do is you have to admire their little qualities, good qualities that they have, right? When you admire them, they will like you. When a person develops the desire for another person, then they will always start to listen to that person, right? Then after that, with the time, if you tell, now you have to get out of this problem, you have to stop being selfish, and you need to start to be kind and compassionate to yourself and to the others, then they will start to listen to your advice, right? So never use anger or resentment, aggression to deal with such people, right? If you are using anger, resentment, hatred to deal with such people, they will never get out of their problems. They will never become changed, right? So approach them in a soft way, in a kind way. You have to help them because they need our help. So when you are dealing with such people, tough people, narcissistic people, right, you have to always use these qualities: patience, kindness, and good listening abilities. You have to take time, right? You have to value and admire their qualities. These are the things that gives the answer for these type of problems in our life. So when you are living your life, develop these qualities within your heart and make your heart a peaceful place and make the hearts of the people around you a peaceful place. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to yet another episode in Inner Guide Q&A program. Now in today's video, we're going to talk about how to handle a heartbreak and how to heal your heart. One of our viewers have asked from us that how can I handle my sorrow of losing a loved one? And how can I handle the heartbreak, the sorrow of heartbreak? Well, first of all, I must say, a heartbreak or losing a loved one is one of the most hardest experiences that a human can undergo, right? Because we have that mental bond and mental attachment within people. When that mental attachment is broken, we start to suffer, we start to cry, and we start to wail. So there are some ways that you can get over this sorrow. So this whole video is dedicated for all the people out there who are going through heartbreaks and who are experiencing tough times in their life. So this video will help you to have some light on your way. So there are some ways and things that we can do to heal ourselves. But remember, this healing process takes time. It's like a wound, right? Wound is not healed in a day or 2 days or 3 days. It takes time, right? So we have to be in a constant process of healing that wound. So same goes with a heartbreak. So what we can do to heal our heart from a heartbreak. Number one, if you need to cry, it's okay to cry. Remember that, right? There are some people who are going through heartbreaks and they don't like to cry. They pretend to be they're okay, right? They pretend to the world that they are okay and they have got over the problem. They smile, but not inside. Remember, if you need to cry, it's okay to cry, right? Go to a private place or go to your room and cry. It's okay, because crying is one of the most natural way of removing the pressure that is building up inside your mind and inside your heart. So it's okay to cry, especially for men, because men always try to hide their tears and they pretend to be they're okay. But remember, men are also allowed to cry. Okay? So if you need to cry and if you need to remove and release that pressure that is building inside, then it's not a problem of shedding a tear. Number two, you can find a person who you can share your pain and who you can share the sorrow and the pressure that is building inside you, right? Well, you need to be wise when you choose this person. Why? Because there are some people out there who give hate comments and hateful comments to the person who cheated you, right? When they give those hate comments and when they try to build up the hate within you, right? It is not good for you. It's not good for your mental health, and it's not good for your physical health either. So what you have to do, choose the person wisely and share your pain with him. Find a person who can share that sorrow, right? That person can be your mother, your father, maybe one of your friends, maybe one of your teachers or mentors, whoever it is. Find a person who keep listening to you without saying anything, without giving many advice to you. Find a person who keeps listening to you, right? Find a person who you can share your pain that is building inside. That is the second step. And number 3, this is the most important thing that you need to practice. And this is one of the things that many people who are in relationships doesn't like to think about. And what is that? Our great teacher, Supreme Buddha, said, Sabbehi me piyehi manapehi nana bhavo vina bhavoti abhinnang paccavekkitabba. What does that mean? Supreme Buddha said, always reflect and recollect in your mind that one day I have to be parted and separated from all the dear and agreeable people in my life. Isn't that the truth? Yes, it is. That is the truth. But we don't like to think about that when people are in relationships. They will think it will ruin their relationship. It will ruin the bond between people. But in reality, it is not. Remember, when you think that I have to be separated, one day I have to be separated from this person that is sitting in front of me, the person who I love most. One day I have to be separated from this person, at least at the death. So I have a little time to love this person, give my love, my kindness, my attention, my compassion to this person. So I must give this fullest love to this person. Remember, true love will never break your heart. That's amazing, isn't it? True love, when you love someone truly, if that person leaves you, you will never be heartbroken. But if you become attached to that person, if you are mentally too much attached to that person, and that attachment is the thing that breaks your heart. That is why Buddha said attachment brings the suffering to your life. So remember, true love will never break your heart, but the attachment does. Right? So if you are curious about what is true love and what is attachment, there's another video that has done by us about explaining the true love, so you can check out that. So remember, when you truly love someone, your heart will never be broken, right? So what you have to think is, always, whenever you are possible, you need to think, I have to be separated from these people around me. Right? So when you think that, your mind is getting prepared to face that situation. Right? You can imagine how I'm going to recover myself if this person left me. How I'm going to do that. Right? Then if your mind is pre-prepared for that situation, when you're going through such a situation in reality, you will start to think, this is what I was thinking about. Right? So when your mind is get prepared to face that reality in the life, right? You can be more confident, you can be more strong when you face that situation in real life. So that is the thing that you have to always think about that. And also, remember, I told you, heartbreak is like a wound. Remember, if you need to heal this wound, you need to decrease the amount of touching it. Right? Now, I don't say that you need to forget the person, right? You cannot forget the person, but you can reduce the amount of attention for those past thoughts. Because when you're alone, right, after a heartbreak, after a breakup, when you're alone, right, you're thinking about the moments and the things that happened in the past. The more you think about those things, the more you will be frustrated and the more you will be sad. So what you have to do, reduce the amount of attention that you are giving to that kind of thoughts, right? So you can do that, but you cannot forget that from time to time, those thoughts will haunt your mind. But when you're not giving much more attention, when you're not giving much attention to those kind of thoughts constantly, and with the time, it will fade away, right? So you don't try to stop the thoughts, but let the thoughts to fade away from your life. And keep this in your mind. Whatever the terrible situation that you are going through in your life, it is going to be changed one day. Because none of our life experiences are permanent, right? Every experience, every tough situation, every happy time, and every experience that we face in our own life are impermanent. They will change with the time. So remember, you're going to heal one day. You're going to be okay one day, right? So have some experience with these tough situations in our life. Remember, these experiences make our life more and more strong. So these are 5 things that you can do to heal your broken heart, right? So I hope you got some ideas to how to heal your broken heart. And most importantly, don't forget to remember what our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught. One day, we all have to be separated from every loving person around us. So we have a short time in this life. So we have to give our fullest love to these people around us and expect nothing from this world, because our expectations will make us suffering. So remember that. And I'm going to end this video with a nice quote, and that is, when you are heartbroken, cry, forgive, learn from your experiences, and let your tears water the seeds of your future happiness. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. You know, life is like an ocean. There are some days in ocean, the ocean is full of storms. Some days there are big waves. Some days there are tornadoes. And there are some days the ocean becomes so calm and so peaceful. Life is also like that. In life, there are some days we are suffering with problems, difficulties, tough times, overwhelming situations. And there are some days our life is flowing like a cool stream of water. So this is the nature of our life. Our life is ever changing. It will not be the same every day. So it is the nature of our life to face the problems, challenges, difficult situations, tough times. So when people face such situations, many people try to find an answer or try to escape from these problems. And sometimes they choose the suicide. They try to quit their life. And they think that suiciding is the only answer for this problem. Remember, suiciding will never provide answers for your life problems. Our great teacher, Supreme Buddha, said, Kicho manussa patilabho, kichang machana jivitang. It is very rare that you get a human life. This human life that we received is a rare chance. Now Buddha explained to us, we are coming from a long journey of rebirth, and that is called samsara. So this is a never-ending journey of rebirth. So while coming in these rebirths and throughout these births, we all have suffered. We all have cried. We all have fell down, and we all have faced problems, which is the nature of our life, which is a part of our life actually. So, quitting your life and try to restart a new one will never give any answer. Why? Because Supreme Buddha said, where there is birth, there is suffering. Right? If you are born in one place, at the same moment, you get the suffering. So what are the sufferings that we get from the birth? When we are born to this world, definitely the death is coming behind us. That is one of the sufferings. Right? Sickness is following us. Isn't that true? Now, we all are subjected to sickness. We all fall ill. Right? There is another suffering. Okay? All days, we day by day, we are getting old. So that is one of the sufferings. And also, we have to be departed from our loved ones. Right? When we are born to this world, there are people around us. There are things which gives the pleasure to us. At some points in our life, we have to be departed from these things. That is common for everyone. And also, we will not get what we like always. That is another suffering. We will have physical pain. We will have mental suffering. That is what you call the life. So, if you decide to suicide, if someone decides to suicide and start a new life, then he will be reborn again and in one place. And in there also, you will get the same sufferings. So it is not the answer for your life problems. Remember that. So, if you are in the middle of a problem, if you are in the middle of a overwhelming and difficult situations, right? Don't think that you should suicide yourself. Remember, you only need a little help, not suicide. Right? Remember, you only need a little help. You don't want suicide. Right? So what you have to do when the suicidal thoughts comes to your mind, the first thing that you have to do is you have to be open. Right? Don't hide those emotions. Don't hide those sad emotions into yourself. Go out and talk with someone who you can keep your trust with him. It may be your parents. Sometimes it may not be your parents. It may be one of your friends or one of your elders, one of your teachers, mentors, whoever they are. Go and talk to them openly, right? But you have to be very careful when you choose the person. You have to tell to a person who you can trust. Okay? So the first thing that you have to do is to be open. Don't stress up. Don't pack up all the emotions inside. Now, most of the times when we face difficult situations, when the problems are coming to our life, what we do is we hide in the corners and the dark rooms And what we do is we keep on thinking and thinking and thinking. We are building all those evil thoughts inside. But if you step out of the loneliness, and if you go out and if you have a little chat with the elders or the ones who you can trust, then you may get some advice and you may get some help to your problem. So being open is very important in your life. That's the first thing. And also that you need to have the self-love, self-compassion, right? You need to love this thing, right? You don't have the right to destroy this thing because no one invited to this world, and also you didn't decide to come to this world, and also you don't have the right to leave this world with your own opinions, right? So what you have to do, you have to love yourself. Now most of the time we say, I love you. We say that we love someone, right? I love you, my parents, I love my girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, whoever they are. But very rarely we say, I love myself. So if you have self-love, self-compassion, then you can manage all those suicidal thoughts and the difficult situations, right? Though the whole world abandoned you in the problems, you should not abandon yourself. If you love yourself, don't abandon yourself in the middle of the problems, right? Love yourself. Take yourself out of that darkness, right? You can try many ways, like talking to your elders and mentors, having a good help to your life. So through these things, you can develop yourself and you can have a little help to your life, little push to your life, and then you can pass on and you can go through that difficult situation. Remember, the difficult situations, experiences, evil experiences, bad, sad days are not permanent. Now, do you find storms and turbulence and tornadoes every day in the ocean? You don't find them. For one day, there may be a storm. In the other day, it will be calm. It will be so peaceful. So life is also like that, right? Don't think that your life is going to be so miserable if you are in problems. You have a future. You can go through them, and one day there will be a day that your life become more peaceful and more happy. But if you quit your life in that instant where you face the problems, you don't have the ability to enjoy this life, enjoy the coming good days. So I need to give you 3 advices, 3 important pieces of advice to make your life so much better. Number 1, right? Do not reply or do not take action when you are angry. Whenever you are angry, don't react. Say nothing and do nothing. Number 1. Number 2, don't make promises to other people. Don't give promises to other people when you are too happy. When you are too happy, you try to give supernatural promises to other people. Don't do that. And the third advice is never take decisions whenever you are sad. Most of the time, people take decisions when they are sad and they quit their life, they suicide. That is the worst time to take a decision. So I need you to practice and have these 3 advices in your life and practice them and find the happiness in your life and enjoy this life. And remember, this human life is so valuable. So make the good out of your life. Namo Buddhaya.